Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Stafford down the middle is intercepted. DJ Moore.
Overthrows and intercepted for DJ Moore.
Will I see you again?
Wheeling throws and is intercepted by DJ Moore.
Pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it.
Takes the snap from his own end zone, winds up, throws into traffic. It is deflected, picked up by DJ Moore. Moore to 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown Bears! DJ Moore, pick 6.
You are tuned in to the Chris and DJ Show with former Chicago Bears nickelback DJ Moore. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Chris and DJ Show. I'm Chris Schanfeld. He's former Chicago Bear. DJ Moore. DJ, a couple hours ago, we had some big-time breaking news. Something that we discussed just a few days ago on our last show. DJ, head coach Matt Nagy makes it official. After kind of being confidential about it, keeping to himself about it, he announced today that he is going to hand off the offensive play calling duties to offensive coordinator Bill Lazor, which is big-time breaking news. Obviously, Nagy was here to turn around this offense, get Mitch Trubisky right, and bring the Bears to the promised land. Unfortunately, it's been same old song and dance. The Bears defense continues to carry this team, and the offense continues to struggle. Can't get the quarterback position right. We got Nick Foles now as the starting quarterback. I was really surprised to hear this news. I give Matt Nagy credit, DJ. I think this needed to happen. I mean, I don't see anything getting any better under the Matt Nagy play calling. So let's switch it up a little bit. Let's see what Bill Lazor can do. Of course, Bill Lazor, former offensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins, and he spent a couple of years as the offensive coordinator with the Cincinnati Bengals as well. He was the former quarterbacks coach in Philadelphia when Chip Kelly was the head coach over there. And Nick Foles had his 27 touchdown, 2 interception season. So there is some familiarity there with Nick Foles. Maybe he can get the best out of him. I was really shocked. But again, I give Matt Nagy credit, DJ. I think something needed to change. Something needed to happen. Matt Nagy said, and we'll play a couple of videos later on what exactly Matt Nagy said in his press conference this afternoon. But Matt Nagy, he said flat out, hey, what's best for the Chicago Bears? It's not what's best for Matt Nagy. It's what's best for the Chicago Bears. What can we do to help this team win? And he obviously thought that a change was needed, as did most of the fan base as well. What was your reaction when I shot you the text? Matt Nagy's handing over his play calling duties.
Well, I thought he was an idiot. Now we'll complain about your offense or your play calling. But, I mean, this is your thing, man. Don't be stupid. I'm going to give – I have a license, and one of my tires is flat, and I'm losing control of it. You're like, you know what? Let my teenage son drive because he has a permit. No, man. You don't – no. Now, again, what I will give him credit for is setting Bill Lazor up to be the fall guy. I call him, he's the new Mitch guy, because what it is that it's your offense. He's gonna ring in and be like, what are you thinking? I'm thinking this. You're gonna run the play. Because what I think Nagy understands is that they're inefficient in a lot of places. You have injuries, you have a lot of different stuff, and really the offensive line to me is the number one thing. So we can't have a running game. So therefore, what plays do you want me to call? He needs Bill Lazor to be unsuccessful. He needs him to be. Listen, because if he's successful, you know how that make you feel? To watch your replacement do well, you do not want that. So again, I'm disappointed in him giving it up because it's I'm the man. My thing is play calling. Just change your play calls up. Do something different. When you get to the press conference, tell the truth. Our line is trash. A running back ain't gonna make 100 people miss before he get through the line. That is what it is. I'm gonna keep calling plays. whatever. Especially when I'm this young into it. Like when Andy Reid did it and gave it to him, that's Andy Reid. You know he gonna get the play calling back. Who calling the plays in Kansas City?
It's Andy Reid, no doubt.
Exactly. So all he did, Andy Reid said, I'm gonna throw you a bone, call a couple games, here go you a head coaching job. All right? Because if it's a brilliant idea to hand it over to Bill Lazor, guess what? Guess who would be the head coach? Bill Lazor would be. But he's not. He's not. When he's been offensive coordinator, he has not made the playoffs. Never. Ever. You can't even give him credit for being the quarterback's coach with Chip Kelly. It's a Chip Kelly style offense. Chip Kelly's the coach for everybody. Come on, man. Keep your job, Slick. Keep your job. But he had to listen to somebody. You can tell somebody talked to him that he believe in, because you don't go from, I won't, until like, you know what? You need to show as a strong man, all right? Show that you're strong enough to put yourself to the side, because you look like one of those bully kids. And you know what? I'm not going to do that. Put yourself to the side. He says, yes, sir, that makes sense. He might have talked to Andy Reid. What you think, Andy? Step to the side. It's still going to be your place.
So I think it's a win-win for Matt Nagy, DJ. I think it's a win-win. Bill Lazor takes over the offense. Something changes. Right. The offense, plays substantially better. It doesn't even need to be substantially better with this defense. They need whatever they can get. So let's say that's behind door one. The offense actually performs better. They click differently and they make more plays. They score more points with Bill Lazor calling the offensive plays. So that's behind door number one. Matt Nagy looks like a genius. He knew what needed to happen. He made it happen. He decided to switch it up, hand over the play calling duties to Bill Lazor. This team starts getting on a roll offensively. They start pulling out some more victories. They win more games. That's behind door number one, DJ. But behind door number two.
I'm sorry. Let me write this down. You said a win-win. I'm gonna write this down. I want to make sure I hear this before I come back at you.
Right.
So behind door number one, the offense does good, correct?
Right.
All right. And he looks like a genius. These are your words, not mine, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Behind door number two.
Okay, door number two.
Bill Lazor fails. The offense doesn't make any strides. They look the exact same, if not even worse. They look flat. Then Matt Nagy looks like, I won't say the word genius, but there's something more there. All right, but Matt Nagy can then point to, hey, I'm not the entire problem. Look at the players you're surrounding me with, aka this is directed towards Ryan Pace, general manager. Look at the players you're surrounding me with. Yeah, we're dealing with injuries, but that can't be the excuse every week. That can't be the excuse every season. Mm-hmm. Where's the depth at? Where's the offensive lineman depth at? Where's the receiver depth? Tight end. Well, all right. I won't bring
Ryan Pace. Let me write that down. Okay.
All right. So either Bill Lazor and the offense, they get things clicking, they get things moving, they score more points, and this team starts winning more football games, or this team continues to struggle, and Matt Nagy can kind of point the finger and say, hey, I'm not the only problem here. And, then maybe more eyes start looking towards general manager Ryan Pace. So I think Matt Nagy knew something needed to happen, something needed to change, and we'll see if he made the right decision or not.
So, okay. So you said there's a win-win, and he has two doors, correct? So if the offense does better, he looked like a genius because he knew what needed to happen, all right? Now, the first one, all right, I'm going to tell you why he looks like an idiot, all right? He's supposed to be an offensive guru, which guru, synonym, genius. If I'm a genius or a guru, and I give a play calling duty to somebody else who looks better than the genius or guru. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what that looks like. I look bad. My whole claim to fame is I'm young, I know how to call plays. I know how to get people open. That is what I do. But he can't do that. And because I can't do that, if I give the offensive play call to somebody else, they have to fail. Because if they don't fail, then whose fault is it? Then it's my fault. If he doesn't fail, it's like, whoa, you know what? It's my fault. So he cannot have him succeed play calling, and especially in a different fashion that he calls the game. All right. Now they're going to have the same playbook, and on third down, he's going to do this. On first down, he's going to do this. Is he going to deviate from what Nagy normally does? Because if he does something different and looks better doing it, Nagy looks like an idiot. It's to me now again. Now
can he look like much more of an idiot though?
Now, number two, if he fails, it's just because we expect him to fail. He hasn't did good anywhere. Like, it's just what it is. It's the NFL. It's one of those things. Do you have the quarterback and do you have all the pieces? We were supposed to have the pieces. We got people who can run 4-3s on the outside. You got Mooney. You got Miller who can work the middle. You got Robinson who can beat one-on-one coverage all day, every day. You got backs that can run outside the backfield. You got your trick guys in Patterson. You can have them in the backfield. To me, it's a lose. That's why I don't give it up. I can't watch somebody else hug my wife real tight. That don't make you feel good, man. You know that. You can't hug my wife, man.
All right, DJ.
Go ahead.
We're going to listen to what Matt Nagy had to say this afternoon in the press conference, all right?
Yeah, my wife, come on.
Let's try that again.
Can you hear it good?
I could. You can't hear it?
I can hear it. It's just faint.
Before we get started, I just wanted to. I know one of the things that we've been discussing all week is, you guys have talked about is the play calling, and I just wanted to let everybody know that I made the decision to go ahead and pass up the play calling, and I'm going to give it to Bill Lazor. So it's a decision that I made. We've been talking about as a staff. I said to you guys the last couple of days, keeping it internal, and a lot of that was for really the idea for us to collaborate as to where we're at. How can we be better as a staff? How can we be better as a team? And as you all know, it's very, very important for me to make sure that I'm doing everything I possibly can to make the best decision for the Chicago Bears.
So that's kind of the generic answer there, DJ. He kind of gets a little bit more in depth here that the Chicago Bears tweet out themselves. That video is 18 minutes long. We're not going to go through that entire thing, but here's a 42-minute clip of him kind of going more in depth on why he's going to be turning the play calling over to Bill Lazor.
For me, if our team can be better because of this move, and I don't know that, but if we can, then darn it, that's what we need to do, and that's what I need to do, and that's my job as a head coach. And there's a lot of great head coaches out there in this league that don't call plays as well and have done it a long time that I have a lot of respect for. So that's just a part of this job that I signed up for, and I have to make these decisions. And it just really makes it a lot easier when you have people that you believe in. And at the same point in time, for me, I do feel like right now this is the time.
So that's kind of what he had to say. That's how he broke it down, how he decided. Let me all right, there we go. So that's Matt Nagy this afternoon when he announced that he's going to hand over the play calling duties to offensive coordinator Bill Lazor. Obviously, this is Bill Lazor's first year in Chicago after Mark Helfrich was fired after the last 2 seasons. So this is his first year here. Again, he has some experience with Nick Foles. Obviously, the big thing that kind of flashes is the year where Nick Foles threw 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So there was some success there with that duo. But who was calling the plays? It was probably Chip Kelly. We probably all know that. Now let's see what Bill Lazor can do as play caller. Again, Matt Nagy said it himself, and I've probably been, and as well as many Bears fans have been saying, it couldn't have gotten any worse. That Titans game, again, they scored 17 points, all in garbage time. That game easily could have and probably should have been 24-0 final score. Instead, it was 24-17. Now they play Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings, prime time. So everybody's got their eyes now on this Bears offense. What's going to look different? What, if anything, can look different with the pieces they have and the pieces that are missing due to injury? Again, David Montgomery very well might just miss this game with a concussion. And DJ, one more thing. Okay, Matt Nagy, he's handing it over. I don't know if that means it's the end of Club Dub or not, but we're going to have our own Club Dub here, DJ. All right, so we're going to celebrate. It needed to happen. Matt Nagy's handing over the play calling. I don't think it could have gotten any worse, and the arrow's only pointing up from here, man.
Oh, my word. Did you hear that crap, though? Like, as he was talking, I could hear Donald Trump saying, that's fake news. Well, I could literally hear him saying it. Every time he talked about handing over the play calling, what did he do? He looked down. It's like the hallmark of, hey, you're lying, you're not making eye contact. You know what? We talked about it earlier this week, but you know what? I went back and thought about it. You know what? I'm a head coach. This is the best thing for the team. But then he said, I don't know if it's best thing for the team, but we'll find out. Like, what? You're telling me that you have confidence in handing the play calling over, and then you say on the back end, you know what, I really don't know, but I'm a head coach, so let me try something. Let me try something new, because I look up to other coaches that don't call the plays, which means that you don't look up to them. You don't. I don't look. You don't look up to them because they don't call their own plays. Everybody knows that. People want coaches that are going to call their plays. That's why they're head coaches. Now, you got some guys that are really good, like in Baltimore, that are really good. Walk the sideline, chill out, or you can get like a Dabo Swinney at Clemson in college and, you know, a rah-rah guy, but really doesn't do much of anything. No, man, you don't look at them the same. You're a guru. You're part of the young crowd. You know who he is? He's the he's like who was in the draft with Trubisky? Was it Mitch Trubisky and Mahomes? Mahomes. Like, he's the Mitch Trubisky of young head coaches. Like, no joke.
It's only right? I mean,
it's only right, because all of the other young ones are like kind of, they're still, it seemed like it's still fresh to them. They're still new. They're still building on it. And it seemed like his skill has stalled out.
Well, you know, I mean, and that's a Ryan Pace issue. I mean, he zeroed in on first he zeroed in on Mitch Trubisky, 1-year starter in college, not a lot of experience. For some reason, he thought that was going to be a better option than Deshaun Watson, who had plenty of experience, 2 national championship experiences, 1 national championship victory against, again, the NFL's 33rd team in the Alabama Crimson Tide. You know, he kind of ignored all that, didn't even look in Patrick Mahomes' way, it seemed like. And he goes after Mitch Trubisky, the limited experience quarterback. And he did the same thing. You know, again, it's easy to say now, but he pretty much did the same thing when he was looking for a head coach too. Matt Nagy, you know, reportedly only the offensive play caller in Kansas City for 6 games. They weren't the most impressive 6 games either. Again, the playoff loss to Tennessee that season for the Chiefs, a very ugly offensive showing, specifically in the second half of that game. They didn't score a single point. And he interviews them, was blown away. And again, that's our head coach now for the Chicago Bears, a guy that was only limited to 6 games of offensive play calling. And now here we are. He's handing over the play calling to Bill Lazor. We'll wrap the show up here in just a couple minutes, DJ. One last thing. He's handing over the play calling. primetime game against the Minnesota Vikings. We did the show a couple days ago. You had the Minnesota Vikings winning. I actually rookie move. I forgot to give my prediction. And I think this could be a game that the Bears win. Obviously, this adds a extra caveat to it. I don't really think it makes that big of a difference if we're being real. But I think there's a slight chance that the Bears could pull this game out. I just have a hard time seeing them drop 4 in a row, and especially against a struggling Minnesota team. They have been hot lately, specifically their running game and Dalvin Cook, who's been on fire lately. They're at home in Chicago. Not that makes a huge difference this year. No fans in the stands. But I don't know. I'd like to think that the Bears could pull this one out against Minnesota. Does this change your mind at all? I mean, it sounds like you're not really you're not much with it, with the change that is. But could this strike something on the offense side of the football? Could this?
I don't think so. And to be honest with you, if it was a 1 o'clock game and everybody was playing at the same time, and you looked up and like, oh man, Chicago beat the Vikings. That made sense to me. But on Monday night, it's so much pressure on Bill Lazor because like this is his audition too, though. Like I want to look impressive, so eventually I can get another either offensive coordinator job or a head coaching job. Everybody wants to be a head coach. So a lot is going to be looking at that. Every time that a pass is thrown, they're going to be looking at that. It's Monday Night Football. Before the game is played, that's what the interview is going. That's what it's going to be about. The buildup is going to be, okay, he passed the offense. Like, how does it look? All right. So again, to me, I'm just going with the Vikings just because, even though I don't trust Kirk Cousins, I really, really don't trust what the offense has had to offer. All right. This was a Titans team that was struggling. This wasn't, and they struggled. They got beat by the coach. You know what I mean? So, and they're still struggling. But again, there's a team on the other end, what we have are really, really struggling. I think the defense is starting to take that burden. They seem to struggle a little bit because with Nagy, I think the good thing is if you get him in the interview, he's probably going to wow you because he has a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. But you can see even towards the end of that Titans game where even one of the onside kickers like, I don't even want to get it. Nah, I'm good. Walk off. You know what I mean? So it's the energy has left the building, man. Like we need to see like results at this point. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening.
So I will say there was a part of me at one point, very recently that thought that this should have been the move. Now it is the move, but I was always thinking, Nagy maybe not the greatest offensive play caller, and we kind of already knew that already. But I always thought, he gets the players to buy in, though. He is a very good coach, is what I was thinking. And then that Sunday evening game against the New Orleans Saints happened, and I kind of second guessed myself after the whole Javon Wims situation. And then even earlier this week, wide receivers coach Mike Furrey, a former pro himself, he spoke to the media and he said that literally, I think it was 2 or 3 minutes before that went down, he went to all the wide receivers and said, do not buy into anything that number 22 on the Saints, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, do not buy into anything that he's doing. He's trying to rattle you guys. He's trying to get you guys in your emotions. He's trying to strike something in you guys. And, literally 2-3 minutes later, he goes out and Wims does what he does. He gets suspended for 2 games. And, DJ, as a former player, I mean, is that could that be some sort of disrespect to the coaching staff, lack of discipline? I mean, or could that just be simply Javon Wims had enough of what?
That's enough. Like you can see, like he poking you in your eye and dancing and doing stuff, and you just frustrated. It's just one of those things where it's once in a lifetime thing. You don't do that. You don't just go out there and fight guys every single game. Now, some guys are different. There's some guys that just get under your skin, and your coach has to tell you, hey, just watch yourself, just relax. When I was in Carolina with Steve Smith, listen, coach will tell you every practice, listen, he is going to be really extra aggressive, and at times he may try to jump on you. this is just what it is. All right, so understand that. And then if you look at practice and there'll be somebody getting jumped on. Who they getting jumped on by? The guy they told you that was going to jump on you. So there's people of different molds, and you just got to understand that. And it was a situation I think he would regret it. And I'm sure when he get back, he'll probably apologize to the team for for doing what he did. But again, I think the players will have his back and understand because he was in it with everybody. He just found the right person to get to. So
right. All right. Well, DJ, that'll do it for tonight's show. Again, the big news of the day: Matt Nagy hands over the offensive play calling to offensive coordinator Bill Lazor. I agree with it. DJ disagrees, and we'll see what happens Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. I think this could strike some excitement. This should strike something on the offensive side of the football. We'll see Monday Night Football, Vikings, Bears. DJ, any final words before we end the broadcast?
Oh, yeah. So when Nagy's out there watching Lazor hug his wife, I hope he's excited.
and with that, cheers. Finally, get something different on the offense side of the football. Let's see what it can do. With that said, thanks for everybody tuning in live, whether it's YouTube, Periscope, Facebook. Appreciate it. And we'll be back after the game Monday night. So again, follow me on Twitter at Chris Schanfeld. The spelling is right there. DJ is at DJ Moore 30. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And until next time, everybody, hope you guys enjoy and go Bears.